Welcome, we're here at Sunshine Yoga here in Destin, Florida, and we're doing progressing in hand balances. Teaching hand balances. A lot of it comes from personal experience, but it's cues and language, how you coach somebody into it, just strictly from like the sentence structure. And like, what do you say to somebody when you don't know what to say? Because a lot of times we don't know what to say, and so we just put hands on. And then there's a lot of confusion because maybe they think that you're trying to hold them or you're trying to stop them from going further, or they don't want to be touched. And so a lot of times, words are super important. And so you'll find that throughout the class, I may say some things that you're like, ooh, I want to use that. So grab your phone, take notes. Yeah, write down the sentences, the cues that you like. And that'll be one of the main things. You could also write down the postures, because we'll go through a couple of progressions you might find interesting. That'll help people get into crow and so on. Like an inversion practice and really like expanding the postures, because your neurology is responding to your relationship to gravity. It's responding to how you're breathing in that relationship to gravity. The same breath pattern standing on your feet would be different than standing on your head. It's going to affect you differently. And so it is also with your hands. It just totally expands, adds a new dimension, so many things become possible for you. The bottleneck happens at the wrists, more before anything else. There might be other bottlenecks for other people, but for most of us, the bottleneck is going to be at the wrist. And that means that needs to be strengthened. As we go through this, you're actually going to get weaker. With the exception of like the initial 20-minute warm-up, you'll get stronger because things will turn on. But then after that, you're going to fatigue. So you're like going to the gym and working out, you're going to get actually weaker as the workshop goes on. And then 2 days from now, you're going to be hella strong. So that's just kind of how it happens. So retaining what you can, especially whatever resonates with you. If you find yourself thinking about it later today or tomorrow, that was what stuck. That was, you had the Velcro in your mind and I threw some information at you and it stuck, and that's the one you hold on to. My Ashtanga training, the Coach Summers program, the Handstand program, which is very gymnastics oriented. I've studied a lot of Dylan Werner's stuff, 10 years older than me. He was a wrestler also. I was a wrestler at University of Oklahoma. With acro yoga training, I've done 3 5-day trainings with them. So the wrists, give it time. Wolff's Law in physiotherapy is the bone will preferentially deposit where you apply load. Calcium will preferentially deposit where you apply load. Load could also be tension forces. So if you have tension, your muscles are pulling at the bones. Over time, calcium is depositing at those connection parts. You see gymnasts' wrists, they weren't born with fat wrists like that. They just apply load every day, calcium gets deposited there, and then they get fat wrists. Or soccer players with their ankles or whatever. So in yoga, we're doing all the bones in all sorts of different angles. Our side of our shoulder and our hip and our tailbone and our head and cervical spine and all sorts of things like that. And so just think about that. Like I'm loading my bones and I'm strengthening that bone over time. And check out the silent flute at 9flim.com.